That I personally like the most about forests and forestry is that it's an opportunity to work with God's beautiful creation and to improve it over time and to leave a legacy for the next landowner who comes along, whether it's my children or someone else, to leave the land and the forests as good or better than we got it, and to improve it along the way. So I love being outdoors. I love working with natural resources, trees, wildlife, and so it's a wonderful avocation. And I was fortunate enough to be able to work as a job, working with managing forests and improving them and helping them to grow better, healthier, faster, stronger, better quality, and to improve wildlife habitat along the way and protect watersheds, all those good things that go along with it. So that's what attracted me to forestry as a career. Well, the Wisconsin Tree Farm program is part of a larger nationwide network of tree farms called the American Tree Farm System. And the American Tree Farm System is the oldest, the largest, and the most successful landowner certification program in North America. It started in 1941 out in the state of Washington, and it has continued to this day, so that's well over 80 years, well almost 80 years, 79 years that it's been with us in the United States. Wisconsin joined the tree farm system in 1951, and when it first started, the program was an industry program. It was started by the forest products industry, and the leadership came from the forest products industry to educate private landowners about the value of good forestry. You have to remember, in 1940, forestry was in its infancy. And so there was this real understanding of the need to help private landowners see the value of managing their forests for the long term. So the tree farm program was started that way, and it was an industry program clear up into the 1990s, when the program finally had grown so big that the forest products industry turned the program over to a private nonprofit group called the American Forest Foundation, which is headquartered in Washington, D.C. And so today the program is a program of the American Forest Foundation. And Wisconsin is one of the many states. There are about 75,000 landowners enrolled in the American Tree Farm System nationwide, and Wisconsin has a big chunk of them because many of our managed forest law landowners are also certified tree farms. So we have thousands of tree farms here in Wisconsin. I should probably mention that the American Tree Farm System today encourages the practice of sustainable forestry on private lands and cooperates with other groups like the Wisconsin Woodland Owners and the Department of Natural Resources. And a big part of our program here in Wisconsin is outreach and education, helping landowners learn about forestry, sponsoring forest management workshops around the state, landowner conferences, things like that. And also our State Tree Farm of the Year award program that we have each year to recognize outstanding forest management on private lands and to make the public aware of the benefits of good forestry by showing off tree farms like this property here that's owned by Dick and Mary Chaya, and they are Wisconsin's outstanding tree farm in 2016, and we had a field day here, and they were some articles written about their property, and so they're a great example to their neighbors and other people in the state on the value of good forestry on private lands. So this is one of the things that our tree farm committee here in Wisconsin does. The Wisconsin Tree Farm Committee contributes to good forestry on private lands in Wisconsin by, number one, our Outstanding Tree Farm of the Year awards program. Two, we help sponsor forestry workshops around the state, landowner conferences, where we can help landowners learn about good forestry on the landscape. We have a network of over 100 inspecting foresters in the state of Wisconsin who volunteer their time with the American Tree Farm System to help certify properties like this one to the American Tree Farm standard of sustainability. So a landowner that's interested in joining the tree farm program can have an inspecting forester come out and take a look at their property and review their management plan with them, or help them get a management plan, because in order to be a certified tree farm you must have a written forest management plan that addresses all 8 standards of sustainability in the American Tree Farm System standard of certification. So once a property is enrolled in the American Tree Farm System, we can provide the certification that landowners are looking for on their property, and also that forest products industries here in the state of Wisconsin are looking for certified fiber that they can purchase for the products that they make. So we provide that for landowners across the state of Wisconsin through our network of inspecting foresters. So those are some of the ways that we connect and partner with other groups across the state that are promoting good forestry on private lands. Wisconsin is unique from other states in some ways. One is that 60% of our commercial forest in the state of Wisconsin is owned by private non-industrial forest landowners, where in other states, for example out west in the Pacific Northwest, most of the forest land is owned by the government. But here in Wisconsin, it's 60% is privately owned. So the American Tree Farm System is one of the ways that we're reaching out to those non-industrial private forest landowners and helping them, giving them the tools that they need to manage their woods sustainably. Great. The Managed Forest Law program made a decision in, I think it was around 2004, that they were going to offer landowners certification, so that they were going to certify the lands in the Managed Forest Law, so that the wood that's harvested off of MFL lands can be sold as certified fiber. The forest products industry was looking for that. Our legislature thought it was a good idea, so they changed the MFL program to offer that to landowners. So today, when a landowner enrolls in the Managed Forest Law, they can opt in to the Managed Forest Law's certified group, which will allow them to become a certified forest property. Well, the certification that those landowners are under is the American Tree Farm System certification. That's recognized by PEFC, which is a globally recognized environmental certification program around the world, and we are under their umbrella. So MFL landowners are certified to the Tree Farm certification standard and also to the Forest Stewardship Council certification standard. So it's a dual certification in MFL. So all those landowners in the MFL certified group are American Tree Farms. Some of them don't even realize they are, but they are. They're certified to the Tree Farm standard. They can get a sign just like this one. They can post it on their property. They can participate as certified tree farms in all the programs that the American Tree Farm System offers. So that's how we connect with MFL. You do not need to be enrolled in the Managed Forest Law to be an American Tree Farm. You can certainly enroll if you have 10 or more forested acres that you want to dedicate to sustainable forest management for wood, water, wildlife, and recreation. You can have a forest management plan prepared for your property and become a certified American Tree Farm without being in the Managed Forest Law at all. Okay. In fact, most of the landowners around the country that are tree farmers are not enrolled in. The other states don't have a Managed Forest Law. So once a landowner is enrolled in the American Tree Farm and they reach the certified status here, and they can post the sign, then they're able to sell their wood. They can sell it on the market as certified fiber. When they do a timber harvest, they can advertise it as certified wood, and it can be sold, and the company that purchases that wood can then use it and resell it as products that they're selling are made with certified fiber. So once you reach certified status, then you can go ahead and sell your wood as certified wood. If you're in the American Tree Farm system here in Wisconsin, you're automatically part of a much larger forest community. I like to call it the forestry community here in Wisconsin. It includes all of the members in the American Tree Farm system, and there are over 38,000 landowners that are tree farmers in our program here in Wisconsin. That's because of the MFL group is so big. But you're not only a part of that community of landowners, that if you go to landowner workshops, some of the landowner conferences that are around the state, you can connect with other landowners who are also tree farmers, and you can network with them. You can learn a lot from other people. And you're also part of a network of landowners in other forest landowner groups, like the Wisconsin Woodland Owners Organization. A lot of those folks are also in tree farm, but not necessarily all of them. But so there's a group of landowners there that we network with and that we cooperate with and work together with in the Woodland Owners Association and other groups around the state. We partner with the Wisconsin DNR, the Aldo Leopold Foundation, RC&D, all kinds of agencies and programs around the state that network with the tree farm system. So you're part of that larger forest community, and you can be as involved as you want to be. It's up to you, but it's a great resource for landowners to plug into. If a landowner is interested in the American Tree Farm system, maybe you've never heard of it before, you can go to our website at witreefarm.org. And there's a tab you can click on there to join the program or learn more about it. There's also a link that you can follow that will take you to the American Tree Farm national website that is for all the tree farms in the whole country. So, and that gives you a lot of information about the American Tree Farm system nationwide as well. So I would just refer people to our website, witreefarm.org, and you can go from there.